We start our tale in the middle of the woods with friends Goldie and Red, two white girls going off that white girl, and they're hanging out with this cat Suave. Goldie tells him that she wants to see it. After some puppy eyes, he pulls it out. Not that, you pervs. His pistol. He shoots it and then allows her to let off some shots. And that's when Suave's buddy Rick appears out of the trunk to shut that shit down. He heads over to Red and gives her a bag of party, right? And then he proceeds to fill her up. She protests, but he brings up her stripper party life, and all she wants to do is at least head behind some trees. Alone, Suave says it's her turn to eat. You know what I mean? Dig in. And things heat up. Look at all them buttons, though. He must be a pimp. She starts to pipe up like a crackhead while Red is getting tossed up on some rocks. Next thing you know, Rick calls Suave to join him. At first, he ain't with it, but he does hop up to go find Rick, inevitably. He discovers Rick standing over Red's slumped body. He checks her pulse and screams, "She's dead!" "I know that she's dead, motherfucker," Rick screams back. Goldie overhears the shouting and goes to peep gang. The guys are deciding to just bury Red and then go murk Goldie as well. And she sees them and then just runs off. Goldie gets lost in the sauce of the woods, and she don't know where the fuck she at. So she just keeps running like Forrest Gump. And finally, she stumbles upon a cabin. And she's yelling and banging all over it until this stranger opens the door. She bursts in, flopping to the ground, and the stranger asks calmly, "Fuck's wrong with Chip?" Goldie blurts out, "They killed her." "Oh, so you're a pro at pronoun gaming, huh?" She's like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, because who the fuck is they and her?" After a moment, she sits down at the table and explains. The stranger, after hearing her story, hits her with that 21 questions. He ain't even trying to fall victim to no honey trap, you know what I mean? Before he can figure it out, he notices a car pull up with its ceiling missing. So he tells Goldie to hide. He enters the door. Rick intros himself as a deputy following a fugitive and shows a picture of Goldie. "Never seen him," the stranger claims, but 12 doesn't believe him. The stranger asks who the other guy is because he don't look like no cop. He claims he's an undercover. Rick asks if they can come in and look around. Stranger is like, "You can if you got a young warrant." "Oh, you don't have one? Then I guess it's kick rocks 30 and y'all running a little late." As they leave, Suave tells the stranger that he looks a little guilty. "So do you, big pimpin'? Now bounce." After they leave, Goldie comes out and asks if he believes her now. "I never said I didn't. Let her go." She wants to know where they're going. He says to some different cops, but Goldie logs onto his laptop and shows him that this ain't no regular cop, that Rick is next in line to be the sheriff and has all types of plans. And Goldie suggests that they go and find Red's body. So they load up and head that way. They arrive and look around, but no dice. They do find an earring, and Goldie recognizes it to be her friend's. "Believe me now? Bitch, if you don't stop asking me that dumb shit," he replies. So they head back to the cabin. They touch down, but before they head in, Goldie shoots her shot, talking about how cute he is and how good he looks for his age, how she's into older guys. His child energy is on low, so he doesn't see she's trying to finesse him. But I'm sure he hasn't dipped wick since Reagan introduced crack to the ghetto, feel me? So they hook up. And the whole time he's bodying her, I was wondering if he'd still be kissing her if he knew what her mouth did only hours ago. Ugh. Either way, he Jay Holidays her ass and steps out. She wakes up alone and proceeds to search for him around the house. Unfortunately, she gets caught lacking by the deputy, right? He hems her up, taunting her how no one beats Rick O'Doyle because O'Doyle's rule. He forgot the rule that he just taught her and gets caught up lacking by the stranger. Gets choked up, wakes up, tied up, fucked up. The stranger is heating up a crowbar on the stove, goddamn, and tortures Rick for the truth. In the end, he agrees to take them to the body. So they load back up in the truck and hit that ride. The stranger is just roasting the cop the whole ride though. When they get out, Goldie decides she doesn't want to see her friend like that and just wanders off. So the fellas head in, and after a while, Rick claims that everything looks different because it's dark. Bitch, there's enough moonlight that I can read a Harry Potter book, the stranger said. So they head back up to the truck. Goldie meets up with them, and out of a bush comes Suave, gun drawn on stranger. So the cops put them in the back seat, and they decide what they're gonna do, which is to go back up to the cabin, throw their dead bodies in it, and torch that bitch. When they get there, they tie up the stranger inside, and Rick starts going off about how he went all medieval with the crowbar earlier, but that's child's play compared to what he's gonna do. Then Rick tells Suave to take the chick outside and give her a bullet time. So he does. He takes her all the way around the building and aims. But before he can, Goldie goes back into finesse mode and asks if they can finish what they started earlier. Dude is like, what? She asks if he wants to feel good again. You would do that? He asks. To live a little longer and to get some more of that spicy love sausage, why wouldn't she? So they get into it. Inside, Rick's monologuing to the stranger, talking about how cool he is, how he never lose. Then we cut back and forth for a while between the two. And Goldie goes into yuck mouth mode and puts it on him so hard that he loosens up the grip on the gun. She grabs the ox and gives him the horns, you know what I mean? Rick is about to torture the stranger, and that's when Goldie intervenes. Then the worst MMA fight since CM Punk's UFC debut occurs, you feel me? They swap knuckles and do a little grappling around. It spills outside, and they roll around. When Rick gets the upper hand, Goldie rakes his eyes and gives the stranger the opportunity to drop the rock bottom on him. Straight onto the helmet, cracks it open. Brains spilling everywhere. And then the stranger crawls over to Goldie and asks her to marry him. And that's the end of the movie. Okay, well, there was one more scene where they were talking about how all these girls went missing in town and wondering if Rick was the one that killed them. But then the stranger was starting to talk all strange, saying like that's a different kind of mentality. Type of guy that would kill all those girls and then stop and become a regular guy while everybody forgets how he was killing everybody and how the feeling of that would be like kissing God's face. Goldie kind of trips like, yo, you good? He's like, yeah, what's up? So he was probably a serial killer too. Make sure you sub up.
Yeah. And I know some of y'all probably thinking like, yo, where you been at, man? Is he serious about this whole thing? And it's like, yeah, I am. I'm really trying to transition from this trap life, you know what I mean? It's going nowhere. I don't want to end up back in prison or dead, you feel me? So like, yeah, like, subscribe, and you about to get a whole bunch of recaps of movies you'll probably never see because the shit's so stupid until I put my 2 cents into it. Gang, gang.